My home is safe from disease-carrying mosquitoes because I use PermaNet. PermaNet is specially treated to be safe for people while repelling and killing mosquitoes and lasts up to 20 washes. Recommended by World Health Organization, it's safe for you and your family.
PermaNet. We care because you care.
It seems like every day we hear about a business hurting people, so here's a different story. It's about a Danish man whose business is to help some of those in greatest need. Mikkel Vestergaard is building simple high-tech devices to help sub-Saharan Africa battle killer diseases. There's a powerful weapon against Africa's killer diseases. It's called prevention. A simple bed net can reduce malaria deaths in half, like PermaNet, a high-tech mosquito-proof net which offers protection at night when the infected mosquitoes are at their peak activity. Or Life Straw, a water filter worn around the neck, a lifesaver against Africa's killer waterborne diseases like diarrhea and guinea worm. These are just two life-saving devices invented by a Danish company whose sole focus is high-tech preventative solutions for the world's poorest.
Guinea worm eradication is a very simple water filter, and that was also what inspired us to develop the Life Straw.
The CEO of Vestergaard Fransen runs a for-profit business, but his bonuses are measured in human lives saved in the world's most underserved communities.
If you look at the health sector, about 90% of all health investments benefit only the 10% wealthiest on the planet, whereas only 10% of all health investments benefit the other 90%, and that represents a major gap in global disparity.
Vestergaard's customers live in extreme conditions, so the products have to be tough, inexpensive, work without electricity, need no spare parts or maintenance, and work for years. Some life-saving products have to be social stigma-proof as well. In many African rural communities, people are afraid to even ask for an AIDS test because of the stigma attached to the disease. But when people get tested, they get life-saving treatment and save others from getting infected. So Vestergaard launched a campaign with an incentive for getting an AIDS test. A free bag, packing a triple punch against Africa's killer diseases.
What we did was to offer a free mosquito net and a free water filter to everybody who came in from this district in Western Kenya to take an HIV test and receive HIV counseling and education.
Vestergaard says his company foot the $3 million bill, but it was worth it. The percentage of adults who got tested jumped from 20 to 80%. The company hopes to get other businesses to invest and spread the model across sub-Saharan Africa. And Vestergaard's campaign made me think of a story I did in rural India, which exposed me to what a $50 loan can do for a poor family.
Our children are our future. A good night's sleep and protection against malaria will help them be at their best, always. So PermaNet longer-lasting mosquito nets give you both for up to 4 years. Highly advanced PermaNets with the longest-lasting killing effect are factory-treated to be completely safe for people while repelling and killing mosquitoes for up to 4 years. You don't even have to treat PermaNet yourself. It needs no extra maintenance. So for up to 4 years of malaria protection for the whole family, trust PermaNet, the longer-lasting malaria protection.
In the heart of Hanoi, the ancient capital of Vietnam, is a unique malaria prevention success story. It is early morning, and through the bustling streets, thousands of workers are making their way to 1010 Textile Company's main factory. 1010, Vestergaard Fransen's key manufacturing partner, produces more than 37 million nets a year, employing 1,600 workers at 5 production sites in and around Hanoi. Their collaboration with Vestergaard Fransen began in 1998 and today accounts for 75% of the manufacturing capacity of PermaNet, a long-lasting insecticide-treated mosquito net. Making these nets is no easy task. Half a dozen steps and quality control measures are needed to produce the finished product. First, the raw yarn from Indonesia, China and Vietnam arrives at the factory. After careful examination to verify quality, the cones of raw yarn are wound onto large cylinders. This process, known as warping, maximizes knitting capability and increases production efficiency. Next, the cylinders, also called beams, are placed onto the knitting machines to produce the netting material. Afterwards, the netting is checked for mesh count and weight to ensure it meets Vestergaard Fransen and 1010's strict quality standards. This is just one of several quality control checks which are completed after every step of production. In the third step, the netting is set using heat. Heat setting stabilizes the fabric, prevents shrinkage, and secures the correct mesh specifications of 156 holes per inch. The netting is then impregnated with deltamethrin with the help of a special binder. This technique is unique to Vestergaard Fransen, who has invested this knowledge in 1010. This knowledge is vital to the quality and success of PermaNet, setting it apart from all other nets. The next step is cutting. Workers cut the netting into various sizes which are needed to produce different types of nets. The cut fabric is then sewn into a finished PermaNet. Each worker stitches an entire net and produces approximately 60 PermaNets during her shift. PermaNet is subjected to strict quality control measures to guarantee uniform dosage and make sure the nets meet final specifications. After passing these final quality control steps, the PermaNets are packed into plastic bags. These bags are then packed into bales. Here, the nets are loaded into large containers ready for shipment to Madagascar. It has taken about 6 weeks to produce the 1.2 million PermaNets for this order. The factory workers are proud to have finished another large order, and they are aware that their work is helping to save lives in Madagascar and around the world.
This is one of those high-tech mosquito nets I was talking about. This one's called PermaNet, and it's made by a company called Vestergaard Fransen from Switzerland.
Since I was only able to bring a handful of PermaNets into Bangladesh, I decided to give them to those with the greatest need. One of the people I decided to give them to was a woman by the name of Shaida. Shaida's husband recently died, leaving her to raise their 2 kids by herself. She was too poor to be able to buy a mosquito net by herself. PermaNets are dirt-resistant, tear-resistant, and if they ever need to be disposed of, they can be done in an environmentally friendly manner. PermaNets are treated with a long-lasting insecticide that won't wash away and can last for years and years. This isn't fancy marketing. I've seen this stuff work with my own eyes.
We're spending this year $550 billion on the military in the United States. $1.5 billion a day for the Pentagon. 1 day's Pentagon spending, ladies and gentlemen, would cover every sleeping site of Africa for 5 years against malaria. Don't let anybody ever tell you we can't afford this. We can afford to end poverty.